Guys, Inter Barcelona, what a game it was. I mean, really, probably the best game of the season so far. For sure, the most thrilling one for Inter and their fans. 3-3, and the fact that they leave Barcelona with regrets says a lot about their performance in Barcelona. Took an early lead with Thuram and Dumfries. Those of you who followed the preview with our friend Ruri from Football España knew that Thuram and Denzel Dumfries would start, a refreshed Dumfries, because he had made a substitute appearance after an injury in the previous game against Roma, so he was um, fresh and fit to start the game. And the same goes for Thuram, who had missed the previous 3 games, so he actually returned to action for the Barcelona game and scored the fastest goal in the history of the semifinals. An amazing goal. And Inter, I mean, it would be difficult to imagine Inter finish the game with regrets, but this is exactly what happened. Not just because they took the lead, I mean, 2 goal lead at the beginning, and then another goal lead with Dumfries, which was quickly cancelled out by Rafinha, but because of the way they played, and especially the way they played in the second half. Because the first half started really strong, then there was a Barcelona reaction. Lamine Yamal was out of this world, incredible for a 17-year-old guy. I mean, Barcelona were struggling, and they gave him the ball, and Yamal inspired all their attacks when Barcelona were 2-0 down, uh, almost like he was a 30-year-old guy. He was really out of this world. I can't remember somebody who's been this good at this age and at these high levels. He's just 17, and the way he put Barcelona back in the game is absolutely astonishing. Uh, but Inter, we were talking about the Inter reaction. When they returned from the break, the mood wasn't excellent, to say the least, because they had wasted a 2 goal lead, because the fans were pushing in Barcelona, because they had lost Lautaro Martinez to an injury, which leave him in serious doubt for the second leg as well. It looked really, really sad, Lautaro, yesterday when leaving the pitch, because he knew the injury was probably, I mean, not super serious, but now we are at the end of the season. So if you miss 2 or 3 games, it's like missing 2 or 3 finals, regardless of the play of the games that you miss. So the mood wasn't excellent, but they still managed to get back in the game and not dominate, but at least not allow Barcelona to play too much inside their own half. And again, the fact that they leave Barcelona with regret says a lot about their performance. And I mean, for sure, one of the biggest regrets as well is the Mkhitaryan offside, which is so close. Probably, I mean, it's it's something very rare to see, but modern football with VAR and technology, it's this is how it works. To be fair, the assistant had given the offside, and it was right, but it was really right for a few millimeters. So who knows? Perhaps in the future it would be worth checking on the rule again, not just because of this incident, but because many times we see goals that are disallowed without not actually giving any sort of advantage to the player who is slightly beyond the last defender. So perhaps there's room for thought on this rule as well. I want to show you uh, these offside from the Football Italia website. So this is why the Mkhitaryan goal was disallowed. You can see just a little bit of the Mkhitaryan foot. But here we go with the um, Simone Inzaghi post-match reactions interview with Amazon Prime Italia. He said, "We played a great game. Clearly, we were 2-0 up, so I still don't understand why that goal was disallowed. There are also other regrets, but we know that we put in a great performance against, in my view, right now, the best team in the world." So Inzaghi called Barcelona the best team in the world after the 3-3 draw in the first leg of the Champions League semi-finals. Unfortunately, these incidents can make the difference. He's still talking about the Mkhitaryan offside. It changes nothing in the way I feel, but these lads and their performance, as they were fantastic tonight. Again, having regrets after an away game at Barcelona, it's it says everything about the Inter performance, and it says everything about the expectations they can have going forward for the second leg, which will be played on May 6th at San Siro. On Lamine Yamal, he said he's a player whose quality I haven't seen it for the last 8 or 9 years. He caused us huge problems, and we had to double up the marking every time, as I was telling you. It wasn't enough, so by tripling up, we'd leave gaps elsewhere, and we were forced to sit deeper. Unfortunately, he too lost some intensity over the time, as Barcelona too have played many games this season. It was a very good second half performance. Again, the second half performance from Inter leaves a lot of hope for the return game in San Siro. Also because Barcelona, they really don't seem this strong defensively. It's true that they conceded twice from set pieces, but at the same time, the Lautaro Martin, the Thuram goal and the Mkhitaryan disallowed goal came from similar situations with quick counter attacks, with the Barcelona defensive line very, very high. So there is room and there is reason to be optimistic for Inter for the second leg. I think personally, the Inter glass is half full. Um, First of all, because they live with regrets, and the fact that you live with regrets is means that you've done more than enough against a very strong opponent. And secondly, because they played the second leg at home, and Barcelona have shown they're not this strong defensively, I think. Inzaghi continued. We all know Barcelona. They have this tactic of a high line that has seen them already win 2 trophies, and they are challenging for another two. They take risks, but it is working because they scored 50 goals this season. Um, I'm coming back after the Inzaghi reactions, and just to take a few minutes to talk about Lamine Yamal after discussing the Inter performance. I've read many um, comments on social media saying Italy. If he was playing in Italy, he wouldn't start. He would be playing in Serie C, in second division. We don't see our talents. We don't play our talents. What I think about Lamine Yamal is pretty easy. I mean, he's 17-year-old guy who's making the difference already at the Champions League level. He already makes the difference at the European level because he massively contributed to Spain Euro victory over the summer. So it's not it's not a player you find every day. It's not that every federation and every country raise these sort of players year in, year out. It's something very rare to find somebody like Lamine Yamal and with the quality of Lamine Yamal. The problem is not that Italy don't play talents like Lamine Yamal. The problem is that we don't raise talents like Lamine Yamal. There have been a lot of discussions over the last few years, especially after Italy failed to qualify for the last two World Cups, on the fact that um, there is not enough talent. There are no number 10s um, like Totti, Baggio, Del Piero. And I think it's true. And this is what Italy is missing. It's not that we don't play talents like Lamine Yamal. We don't have them. And the target is not to raise 10 Lamine Yamal, is to raise one, which can make the difference for 20 years. This is what Lamine Yamal, if he continues like this, is going to do. Is going to be compared to the greatest because he's been doing things that are impossible to be seen and have never been seen from a 17-year-old kid at this level. With Italy, the problem is that we don't raise them anymore. We put too much attention on tactics when the players are young. We put too much attention on the result when what they have to do is to touch the ball and play with the ball and try to have fun with the ball. And when they reach a certain age, then they have to go out and play for the result and include their talent in a team environment. This is exactly what they do in other countries, and this is what Italy don't do anymore. We put too much focus on tactics, and we suffocate the talent. Inter as well. They are a team that they're very strong. They play incredible collective football. They know how to press high. They know how to defend deep. They know how to do it everything. But they don't dribble much. They don't have players who are strong on one-to-one dribbles on the attacking side. And I think this is something that has been reflected. Of course, it's not the fault, but it's a consequence of the decisions taken over the last 10 or 20 years at the youth sector, which don't allow Italy to raise talents like Lamine Yamal anymore. Let me know your thoughts, guys. As usual, I have another video coming up about Juventus as well, and many more from stadiums and Italy national teams too. So if you like this video, if you like this content, subscribe to my account, and there will be much more coming on in the next few days. Thank you very much for following. We speak very, very soon. Bye.